start destroying your own creations.
Yeah, real snake eating its tail type story.
That's what I play these games for, to become an Ouroboros.
Yeah, that's it. But that is something really fun. And this is something that I love in Knights of Prospect and other games, is like when PCs or characters you're really familiar with just kind of work themselves into the greater story, and you see them years later when their circumstances change.
I love that shit.
My old character in this old game, did he become an evil congressman and need to be destroyed? Yes. But it's,
we all.
But what happens?
Yeah, but it's just really cool. There are, if we scroll all the way back in Knights of Prospect to session 1, all the early sessions, Wendy and Marcus, the couple that Raz married, if there is ever a need for two every people to just wander into grand calamity, it's going to be them.
Yeah.
Just so we can see them a year later. What has living in a fantasy world for a year done to these people?
And they're still just hi, Raz.
Oh my God, Raz!
Hi.
Baby number 2
This
on
is
the
great.
way.
Are we live?
Anyway, we are
Yeah.
live.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're just talking about
Hi,
life.
Internet.
Hey, Internet.
Hi. We are you're welcome to Knights of Prospect on 2MB Studios. We are a fully improvised role-playing game with a bunch of very geeky comedic improvisers from the Boston area. Proudly so. Wave your flags high. So we're gonna all introduce ourselves to you. For those of you who don't know us, my name is Whitney. I play Hazel Pippet, who is a halfling mountain druid. Real good friends of nature and the elements, shape-shifting and cheese. I'm really excited because Sir finally got me to cry in one of these last week.
Woo!
So
His stated goal.
I know that's been his goal for over a year now.
Whether you're in the show or not, right before we go live, I say this is the one where I get Whitney to cry.
Even when she's not performing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All the
It's
time.
very intimidating.
Just texts us.
If you missed it, catch up on that one. It's a real good one, real tearjerker. I'm excited to play and see what emotional shenanigans Serp plays on me this time. So Rob, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Hi, my name is Rob Mulligan. I play the foppish bard named Ronaldo Francis Mackay, the fourth in his name. His dad, not a great person, potentially a villain, definitely a villain. But Ronaldo, a great guy and a bard, and he's good at swordplay, has a lot of money, and can sing a song or two, and sometimes uses fire magic to manipulate people's minds, but only sometimes. So that's his deal. Winnie, Sam Levangi, what's up with you?
Hi, nothing much. I'm Sam. Sam L. I play Winnie. She is an elven bard. She specializes in all things music. She likes to make friends and enemies with her voice. Recently she has taken to kind of adopting other people's skills through the power of friendship. So, finally, other Sam.
Hello, I'm Sam Hoare. That starts with an H. I play Chauncey, the used-to-be wizard, and now I've changed. Many episodes ago. Some people might only know me as this, but now I'm Chauncey, the emissary of an Angel of War, the militant. And, I like to hand out pamphlets and stuff like that. Try to, I think so far I've mostly tried to recruit forest life. Chauncey likes to have a really fun time. He likes to go out there, likes to put himself out there, likes to go on adventures. He's hyper focused on trying to protect his friends because he has unleashed giant octopi and stuff like that on his town before, and he's doing his best.
Defeated it. It's
right.
fine.
That's what I say. That if we defeat the giant octopus you unleash, then ethically it's fine to unleash them.
Yeah.
That's Chauncey. Wielding the powers of the militant, the Angel of War. Super fun time throwing it to our amazing game master, John Serpico.
Hello, everybody. I'm John Serpico. I'm the game master, which means that I get to play all of the characters that are not explicitly being played by these 4 talented improvisers. Another thing I get to do as game master is ask the players from time to time to roll some dice. I will do that whenever the outcome of something is uncertain. I'm not going to ask them to make sure they tie their shoes, but if they're going to try to, jump off a cliff and land on a griffin mid-flight, I'm going to have them roll some dice. And when I do, as these players are showing, it's going to be 2 6-sided dice. I'm reading the chat in real time. And yes, other David Thomas. It's people working with people. That's what role-playing's all about. But what happens is when the outcome of something is uncertain, I will ask for a dice roll on a 10 or higher on 2 6-sided dice. They will get exactly what they want. The thing that they want to have happened will have happened. On a 7 to 9, they get a little of what they want, or they have to make a difficult choice. On a 6 or less, they do not get what they want, but something else interesting and potentially scary happens instead. The final task that I get to do as game master is really just set the context for what you're about to see tonight. Really, every episode we have is standalone enough that you can just pop in and enjoy one. However, for broader context, the story is the Knights of Prospect, a great and august set of noble knights from the Riverlands, are far from the Riverlands. They're in the massive territory of the Orcish peoples, and they are trying to travel across this very dangerous territory to find a lost elven city called Alveolora. Alveolora, in point of fact, is at this point reaching out to them in their dreams. They feel incredibly compelled to find this city, which was, if the legend was true, besieged and lost to time 1,000 years ago. But now here they are, and their hope is to bring this lost city back into the light using all of these wonderful dice that we are seeing. Mm-hmm. If you want to learn a little more about the backstory, the easiest thing to do would be to look up Knights of Prospect wherever you get your podcasts. We are a great podcast. Join the small army of folks that are listening to that podcast. It's a delightful time with some great music, super fun stuff. Or if you want to see our faces as we play, go to YouTube and look up Knights of Prospect. You can find all of our episodes cataloged there. And this is, I believe, if my math is right, and I think it is, episode 58. So we are in this thing to win this thing. So with that being said, we are 58 episodes in. We're at least 5 or so episodes wandering around in the dangerous Orcish lands. You're looking for a lost city. Who knows if it exists or not, but you're gonna get to it or die trying. Hopefully you're gonna get to it instead of die trying. So with that being said, let's get started. Woo. All right. So all of you, not just you 4 knights, but the rest of the knights with you, have been sailing through the Keening Fields, which is a country within this great Orcish land, for several more days after you've encountered Beleriad the Dragon. Now, this was a particularly notable event that happened. You ended up saving, a group of these knights ended up saving the life of a dragon who has pledged to return the favor once. And, that's in this strange, exhausting, dangerous land where survival is difficult. That was a great boon to all of you. And, that has lifted your spirit over these past few days as you've sailed a stolen wicker warship up this river through the Keening Fields on your quest to find Alveolora. You ended up getting a few more days out of that warship. The boat could only take you so far. The river that you've been sailing started narrowing and the rapids became untenable, especially given how many people were on the boat and the fact that Dolly, your 20-foot tall siege golem, has been like slowly jogging behind the boat. And once the rapids started coming into play, it was dangerous enough that you realized you would rather march overland in the empire of a great orcish warlord than risk drowning in a large wicker warboat. So you decided to scuttle the boat and disembark on land. In addition to all of you knights, you have a very interesting kind of guest with you. Another knight of Prospect had used an ancient artifact to come find you, essentially, and that knight of Prospect brought with him a prince, Prince Wyman of the Dominion of Vor, who is one of the great experts on Orcish warfare and, to a lesser extent, Orcish culture. And yes, we are indeed talking about Ruxley Leontiev, a dear friend of Prince Wyman of Vor, who the two of them have come to rescue you. You all decided you didn't need rescuing, and now they're part of the group that are finding Alveolora with you. In any event, Prince Wyman pulls out one of the maps that he's carrying with him and says that you're now on the approach to what he refers to as the Shatterer Mountains. The orcs have a different name for this mountain range, but this is the human word for it, the Shatterer Mountains, which are kind of along the border of the Keening Fields. And so you've been wandering overland for a day or two now, kind of hunting and foraging. The Keening Fields were mainly made up of these rolling fields of razor sharp grasses that were, you can make a boat out of them, you can eat them, you can make armor out of them, or you could cut yourself up walking through them because they're razor sharp. So the topography and the flora are starting to change here. You're getting into more kind of rolling hills of kind of scrub grass, big stones jutting out. It's very clear you're starting to enter the foothills of some mountains, and these would be the Shatterer Mountains. One of you four is in charge of keeping you all fed. Well, I mean, it's kind of an everybody job here. You're really foraging to stay alive, but one of the four of you is in charge of it right this second. So whoever's feeling lucky, I want you to just lay out the approach you want to use to try to keep everybody fed and watered, and then we'll roll some dice.
I don't think I'm suited for it because I don't need to eat. I just like cheese. So, not to say not it, but
yeah. What bothers
I feel like that's you saying not it. I just want to put that out.
I'll say it, not it.
Okay.
It's such a downer that all these other people you're traveling with need food.
It's really
you,
weird.
Hazel, yeah, it's straight. Like, you as a druid are sufficiently nourished by just being out in the world. You are nourished because the land and the air want to keep you alive. These folks will just die if they don't keep stuffing their face full of food.
I'm pretty good at letting out a piercing sound that will probably kill a number of small animals in the vicinity. I can't really tackle any big game, but I am very happy to venture out and do that. I can speak to fish and sea animals, but I have no empathy for land animals.
No. So you could just you could shout your way to dinner. So let's do that. This is your Metal Hurlant ability. This is 2d6 plus Constitution. So roll it and tell me what you get.
7.
All right, partial success. Now, just as a quick kind of non-diegetic aside, one of the great things that I love about Knights of Prospect and all of you as characters is every so often you do something that I can't possibly plan for. And the idea of finding food in enemy territory by loudly shouting things to death has created for me a path. And this path leads very far from anything I've written down.
Okay.
So
Do
we
it.
are going to go ahead and just lean fully in. So the
Winnie.
success...
I would like to be clear that Winnie tells her plan to other people, and everyone who didn't stop her is just complicit in it.
Winnie,
This
like I said before, Winnie, this is the greatest plan I have ever heard.
I mean,
I give you
I'm a
100%.
I think using your music to do things is the only way we can do things, right? We have a hunter. Where is she? I don't know.
If
We're
we
using
just-
what we can do.
Your deadly shrieky scream is like my favorite music.
Thank you.
It's great. Yeah, this is something that has been like thoroughly vetted and everyone agreed. Yeah, and actually, since you're asking, Vil, who is the forest revenant of your party, who is most deeply connected to this Alve Alorum story. I mean, Winnie and Ronaldo as bards have been singing about the lost city of Alve Alora for as long as they've been bards.
Mhm.
Vil has been tasked by the living spirit of her home forest to find it. And so as you're getting closer to it, Vil is spending less and less time, shall we say, in the conscious world. So the things you would expect her to do, like hunt a deer and bring back 100 pounds of venison for everybody, she's doing less and less of and doing a lot more of like kind of staring off to the horizon and talking to people that aren't there.
And we asked Gregory if he would do it, but he said no, and he didn't give an explanation. He was just mad.
He was sitting on a stump, and then we asked him to do it, and he said no, and then was still sitting on the stump.
I think
Yeah.
I saw him eat part of a boot.
Yeah.
And
I
yeah,
knew
you all did a boot check, and all your boots don't have any teeth. Like, you don't know where he got a boot.
I don't know where he got that boot.
But in any event, Winnie, you at regular intervals, kind of profoundly shout this like piercing.
Thing like it's like a I don't want to. What's tough is whenever I do this, I don't actually want to screech into all of your ears.
Oh, that's okay. I'm getting used to it,
I love
often
it.
do.
Hold on, I'm ready. I'm gonna take off my headphones. Here you go.
It's like a very like who knows if it's an animal, who knows if it's what it is. But
It's like just on the edge of like a human's ability to register the sound. Like,
Yeah.
if you're in the direction of this and cannot hear it, you just feel like profound buffeting waves of nausea and dizziness. But if, like Chauncey and Jelly, who are younger, if they can hear it, it's horrifying.
It's very bad.
But yeah, it works. I mean, the success part of the partial success is this works. This part, the foothills between the Keening Fields and the Shatterer Mountain Range are full of, content warning if you don't love bugs, crickets the size of like melons. Like that's the kind of the dominant life form around.
Are they
here.
fat crickets? Is it the shape of a melon?
No. Well, they're a little
There's
more
at
bulbous
least
than
one
they
that
probably
is the
should
shape
be.
of a melon and has
Look,
tiny little
yeah.
spindly legs.
Did that cricket eat a whole melon?
That was a round cricket. I've seen several round crickets. I don't think that one was a weird cricket. I think that's the
You know
normal
what?
cricket.
They're adorable.
It looks like the perfect kind of shape of a creature to play like a game with.
There's no way that cricket the shape of a melon tastes like a melon, and I'm not going to taste it and check it, but I am curious.
And should we
Yeah.
play cricket melon ball?
Hazel's drawing them. This is
Oh,
just
yeah,
fascinating.
Should we play cricket with the crickets?
The thing that you found in this part of the Keening Fields, this kind of these foothills, is that the Keening Fields is very, very densely populated with Orcish villages. the great overlord of the Keening Fields is an orcish warlord that has designs on launching an invasion of the North, trying to break the walls of the Dominion of War. And so the Keening Fields is a place to do that because you more or less wander village to village, kill the toughest person there, and then say, well, now I'm in charge of the village. And this one orc's been doing that for like a few years, and now essentially he's a warlord. So, this is densely populated country, but where you are now is very minimally populated. You haven't seen villages on the horizon. You haven't seen thin plumes of smoke anywhere. You've been marching for a day and haven't seen any proof of life bigger than these giant, this-sized crickets. So, yeah, you do take a moment to cook up a bunch of them. They're really not bad.
They kind of pop when you cook them.
Yeah.
Kind of like,
like kind of halfway, like the chitin snaps.
mm-hmm.
I don't like them, but I don't have other options. We ran out of the giant other bugs that we ate, which was surprisingly lobster-like, but these are just.
Yeah. You've been feasting on chul meat for a while, and it's. I mean, it despite what they look like, it was like this was outstanding eating. This
we
is
had more than we could finish, and it went bad. Basically,
yes, yeah, that's really what it is. But this is nourishing you. You're going to probably do your best to forget about eating these, but it's nourishing food. And yeah, and you even with one of the shells do indeed play a game, and that's nice to kind of buoy the spirit since you're not sure how long it's going to be now that you're traveling overland and what dangers you will face getting to Alveolora. So to have this moment of calm and relaxation is nice.
I rolled a 7 for melon cricket ball.
Nice. Let's have the partial success work out this way. It ultimately comes down, Chauncey, kind of your team and the other team. You're guarding the stick that you've placed into the ground, and the cricket chitin melon. The game's called Melon Bug. The melon bug cannot hit the stick, and you're guarding it, and your team it's tied, and there are a few seconds left. Dolly, the giant siege golem, is keeping time, and you just hear her going like 5, 4, 3, and just as Jelly is like sprinting towards you with the melon bug, your eyes just instantly travel over to a ridge line like 500 feet away because you see movement. And just as you do, Jelly like smashes the melon bug against the stick and his team wins. But Chauncey, you see plain as day on a ridgeline, observing you, 2 sentient beings that are not orcs. Elves, maybe, or thin humans, observing you from a ridgeline. Chauncey,
a good wave.
Yeah, a good wave. Give me, Chauncey, 2d6 plus your charisma.
6.
All right.
I wave very weird.
Hello. And a couple other people are like, what are you looking at? And then a few of you all start gathering around Prince Wyman, who did a great job as a midfielder in Melonbug. Kind of jogs up and looks. Huh. He kind of waves his hand in front of his eyes and some kind of enchantment falls over him. Human and an orc. Human and an elf. Non-military. We should be the only non-orcs in this land. And as he said that, the two of them just vanish. Prince Wyman looks at all of you and says, all right, everyone, well, this isn't my mission. I'm here as an observer and a friend, but I think we've just been spotted.
I mean...
by a scout party.
But it wasn't orcish. Could it be another vision? Should we scout? I feel like we must scout it pretty quickly. We got to get ahead of those scouts or figure out if Alveolor is sending us another vision, which equally likely both. Frankly, could be both.
All right, I'll scout him right back.
All right. Scout him right back. What do you want to do?
All right, I am going to shift into a peregrine falcon.
Peregrine falcons are very good at chasing and scouting. So, 2d6 plus wisdom, please.
11.
Perfect. So what you have now is 4 hold, which means you don't need to roll. The next 4 times you either try to chase somebody or scout to find something.
Oh wow!
So you as is the case, kind of you kneel down and the earth rises up around you into like a shell, and when it cracks, out emerge you in your new form, a peregrine falcon with just tiny little horns. And, boom, extended wings, you take off into the sky.
All right, I'm going to fly around where we just saw them disappear.
Gotcha. Yeah, you take off like a shot. And yeah, you do indeed see them. I mean, there's no way 2 people on foot can outrun a diving bird. So yeah, you kind of take out and then just kind of come down. And yeah, they are running as fast as their legs could possibly take them. Well, that is to say, the elf is running at probably half her speed. She's not leaving her fellow scout behind, but yeah, the 2 of them are running, and you're just kind of banking with them. And one of them, the elf, looks up at you, and then looks at the human, and the 2 of them have like a quick exchange, and the human I
do my best to be like a bird, like do do do, like being cash.
Yeah, you're flying casual. So actually, give me 2d6 plus, I'll call this charisma. How charismatically believable are you as a bird?
Nah. 7.
Okay. So the 2 of them, these 2 scouts, kind of argue for a minute, and the human kind of turns and looks and kind of like bangs his chest a couple of times and centers himself and kicks up something that looks like a windstorm. Like all of a sudden, like the wind dramatically changes direction, and you have to kind of loop around fairly wide to stay out of the way of it, which means that if you want to catch them now, you're going to have to spend another hold to chase them.
All right, I'm going to chase them.
Got it. So you've got 2 hold left. So you chase again, and the 2 of them look back, and you're a fairly good judge of these things, especially with kind of the senses you have when you're in an animal form. The 2 of them look like they are arguing in a panicked way, but they're still running, and they keep running towards, there's kind of this big, it's not a mountain, but it's this big kind of sheer walled hill. It's almost like, imagine a hill, but someone took an ice cream scoop and like scooped out a side of it. So now there's this like big divot of like sheer cliffs and like kind of an open land under it. They're running towards this. They're running towards this like kind of semi-enclosed like cliffside, and they're just like running through open field towards it, and you're like flying and like watching them run, and then all of a sudden they just vanish. Like they didn't dive into a shrub, they didn't like run into the shadow of this like weird hill shape. They were running through open field, and suddenly they just were not there anymore.
All right, I'm going to keep flying toward the weird hill. But can I use a hold to talk to the wind?
Sure. Yeah, if you're doing it for the purpose of scouting, absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, you want information? Yes, you could spend a hold to talk to the wind. So yeah, the wind kind of returns to its normal pattern, and yeah, the wind, as always, is more than willing to talk to the wind's friend Hazel.
Hey, bud, that was weird.
Yes, it was not our intention to blow that way.
You know those people?
No.
They just get here today?
No. For as long as I've been blowing through this place, I have not seen them.
Oh. So they just got, so is there camp anywhere around here?
There's nothing here, unless there is something here.
I don't know. What's with that weird hill?
Hold on. And you just like the wind picks up. And after a few seconds, there's something there. I cannot see it. I can feel it. Can you see anything?
Can I see anything?
How close do you get?
At this point, I think we're pretty close. We're like 100
Yeah, so
yards.
if the hill's just like the hill, kind of like a third of it has this big kind of indentation in it. And well, you fly into the indentation and there's nothing there until suddenly you are flying over a village. You were flying over nothing, and now suddenly you are flying over a village. It's a collection of low buildings, mostly look like made of mud, incredibly dense fields of crops. It looks like they've kind of dug trenches and are growing things semi-submerged.
Is it halflings?
Mm-mm. No, this is weirder still. The elf and the human kind of run in and start calling for everyone. And emerging from the building are orcs, dwarves, and more humans. And an orc and a dwarf start talking to each other, and the two of them retreat to what looks like a ritual circle.
Oh my. All right, I'm going to head back to the party.
So you bank back. All of you kind of see this at this point. Like you're all watching Hazel on the wind, like smaller and smaller, like a dot, and then suddenly she vanishes. And then like a few seconds later, she kind of reemerges from nothing, and then kind of lands again, right in your midst.
What did you see? Where did you go?
Hey, so can you both turn into a bird and turn invisible? Because I feel like that's a lot all at once.
I know
No,
my
just the
eyesight's not
first
that
one.
good. I mean, I know my eyesight's not that good, but I'm pretty sure you disappeared.
Did I?
Mhm.
Cool. No, I just do the bird thing.
Huh.
But yeah, there's a whole bunch of people over there.
Oh,
The wind is real confused about it. But it
not-
can be flighty. That was a joke.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hey,
I was
it's a
trying to lighten
bird.
the mood.
It's bird
But yeah.
humor.
They seem alarmed and are possibly waiting to fight us. So
Oh.
that part's not a joke. I didn't feel it. They didn't try to hurt me. They just threw some, changed the wind a bit. But yeah, they seem alarmed. So we should either try to send a message or defense.
I mean, our larger goal here is to reach Alveolora. From my understanding, we're not anywhere close. So whatever these folks are doing, I doubt have anything to do with our mission.
well,
Maybe if we communicate that to them, it'll
I mean, they're in the middle of the Keening Fields, probably one of the most dangerous places you can be hiding, and have probably been hiding for a long time. Did we potentially make it so that they aren't hiding by accident? Or that, drew some attention so they're worried or something? Does that
Is
make
that-
any sense?
Listen, you could have spoken up before I went screaming out in the forest.
No,
all right?
no. I thought it was a good idea. I'm just now realizing maybe using screams to hunt might be a terrible way to travel covertly.
And
I'm
that
realizing this now, just now.
That game of Melon Bug got pretty raucous.
They make a loud popping noise when they explode against the peg.
It was quite loud. Maybe they know. Maybe they would have information for us. If they've been here for a while, or maybe they're trying to get to where we're trying to get to.
I think we should craft a message, and Hazel, maybe you can kind of drop it off to them.
Sure.
Something along the lines of, we are passing through, we mean no harm, and if there is something you need help with, a task or some sort of mission, we are willing to lend our hand.
Oh, yeah.
Put that all
Awesome.
down and
Perfect.
signing
Can you
it.
add one word? Oh,
Yeah, Chauncey?
Yes.
awesome. Yeah. P.S. Chauncey here. If we have any Chauncey fans or militant fans out there, know that I'm your guy.
Well, I've already
and
started writing this, so I have to put this down.
I'm happy to sign anything, autographs, give out some pamphlets, whatever you need.
It's starting to be longer than the message. I just
All right, so Chauncey signing off. Love, Chauncey.
On the back, I'm gonna add pictures of us. So if everyone could just make their friendliest facial expression real quick.
Okay.
I feel like maybe we should. Okay. Yeah.
Handsome. All of you, very handsome.
I mean, shouldn't we probably rush? I don't know.
Dolly kneels down and just does this.
So beautiful. So beautiful. All right, I got it. So yeah. Falcon and off.
Ronaldo, let's see how compelling this note is. 2d6 plus charisma, please. This is going to be a parlay roll.
Okay. 2 times in 2 sessions. 2 6s. 12.
I'll be darned.
1, so 13.
Your handwriting must be amazing.
It's
Yeah.
incredible.
So
It's all those years of calligraphy class.
I didn't understand why the Bardic College made me take calligraphy until this moment.
yeah, it's an earnest note with earnest intent, written beautifully by a trained bard. This is exactly why you take that class. So yeah, Hazel, you fly up again, and all of you are like getting closer now, so you can see even clearer this time. Like Hazel is visible, whoop, invisible. Just like she sailed through a piece of paper and that you now can't see through. Hazel, you are now back. There are 5 people in this ritual circle chanting, and there's like this weird black aura forming like in the middle of the ritual circle that you don't know what that is, but that looks bad. But yeah, you kind of loop, and how exactly do you deliver the message?
So, friendliest way possible. I kind of bank into the circle, drop the little scroll, give them a wink, and then head back to the party.
Gotcha. You land in the ritual circle, and you have a sense of what exactly they're trying to do now because you saw it start to come together. They are generating a cloud of unlife, which is bad bad, super bad magic. Like wild, like this is, and you essentially you fly back, and when you talk about what that is, Prince Wyman is dumbfounded by, like, he's absolutely stunned. Like, you describe what it is, and like it's like, yeah, it's like this weird, like, blistering, like, mist and all of this.
Maybe we shouldn't have offered to help.
They don't seem like they're fans. I'll say it. I didn't even try to do any of that stuff. That's ridiculous.
The reason why is the kind of magic that they teach at the Arcane College is I mean, they teach agricultural magic. They do teach combat magic, various scrying magics, and all of the, like it's a liberal arts curriculum here.
I'm well-rounded.
What they don't teach is war magic. The Arcane College is not like, I mean, there are people that fought with the Vorish army that, like, no, but it's not part of the curriculum. Like, Prince Wyman kind of detailed what they're doing, and like, a cloud of unlife is what you do if essentially you're going to fight to the last person. You do that if you think the world's coming to an end, and you're like, no matter, we may die, but these orcs are not breaking through this wall. Like, that's what it is. And Prince Wyman said the only people that know how to do that are those trained in the War College of Salien's Rest. Like, that's like in Vor. Like, so he's very confused as to what's going on. However, one thing that does not happen is you are not all hit with a giant field of unlife.
And they didn't try to hurt me.
No. What happens instead is kind of emerging from space is this weird, like, golden circle. Like, it just kind of pops into being. It's like this little wobbling, vibrating golden circle, like a ring, like a really big gold ring. And it gets wider and wider and wider and wider, and starts, like, kicking off sparks and stuff. And stepping through it is an orc wearing very nice robes. In point of fact, those are like elven leisure clothing. And she emerges and looks at all of you. Promise me that you mean us no harm.
We mean you no harm. We only wish to pass through.
At this point, I fear that is not possible. Not until you talk to the rest of us. Please, come with me. They cannot hold this open for much longer. Just to my village, please. You're free to go at any time, please.
All right.
Okay.
Pray that no one has seen you. And all of you kind of, run through this ring. Dolly has to kind of get down into like a snake crawl and get through it. About 2 miles away. Cutscene. Maku's the Beautiful. The culotte wearing Maku's the Beautiful. The culotte wearing orc who has been chasing you for a while is looking through this big weird plate of glass that two other equally large orcs of the I'm off script enough that I really need to actually go back and remind myself of the name of Maku's order, because it is serious. He is the bloodied. Maku's the Beautiful is looking at this like weird jagged piece of glass that's being held by two other orcs, and he's looking at all of you, talk to an orc, and then run through a big golden ring, all in the shadow of this big, weirdly shaped hill. Maku's then nods and turns to the 100 elite orc warriors behind him. It is as I have said, brothers. They are demons. and we kill demons here. Come, brothers and sisters, come! And they start running. Anyway, all of you have teleported a very short distance, about 500 feet, into the middle of Hazel, the town that you were looking at. Yeah, there are about 20 people here, all gathered. There are probably 4 or 5 humans, 5 or 6 orcs, a couple of very old dwarves, like even by the standard of dwarves, like impossibly old dwarves, and a few elves, a couple of halflings, all wearing comfortable working clothes. Some of them, their hands and feet are covered in dirt. They were literally just farming, and they're all just kind of standing in a half circle, as the orc that brought you through this little very quick teleportation spell just kind of looks at all of you.
So I'm guessing that we don't have a whole lot of time from the way that this circle was drawn and from the way you told us to run through a portal. So I would love a quick, brief summary of who are you, and what are you afraid of?
The orc that you've been talking to steps forward and nods. She looks at you. Were you the one that wrote the letter?
Yes, my name is Ronaldo Francis Mackay IV. I believe that is my signature that you have been graced with. Sorry, we don't have time for me to be this way, but yes.
She turns to one of the humans who, Hazel, you know as the scout, one of the 2 scouts. He's taking like a long, slow draw of a pipe. And the orc looks at him and he nods. The Mackay family of Tower Town.
Unfortunately, but also fortunately, yes. Our reputation, unfortunately, precedes us.
He and kind of the orc have a few words, and the orc steps forward. My name is Ozol. Formerly Ozol the Render until I gave that title up. Mm-hmm. Welcome to our home. In short, because I understand that time is short for all of us potentially, this town does not have a name, and this town should not exist. The nature of orcish belief is that if enough people believe in something, it becomes real. Similarly, if enough orcs believe that something is not possible, it will not be possible. We exist in that strange space. Mm-hmm. There should be no reason for a village like this to exist here, which is what keeps us safe from notice. Until you noticed us.
I feel like you may have noticed us. You scouted us, and we reacted. I apologize for this. I apologize for this.
No apologies are necessary. This is something that we all feared may happen. One of the dwarves of just impossible age, just walks forward. She looks like she's the only person here that is wearing something that's even vaguely military. It is essentially half of a breastplate that had been kind of sawed down into what is essentially a back brace. And so she walks forward, kind of like squeezes Ozil's arm. It is as I have feared. We have to abandon this place and try to make a run for the north. And then, Ozol looks at her, and they go back and forth, and Ozol very accurately says that there is no way that woman is running anywhere. And you look around, this village is a mix of, well, I'll put it to you this way. This is a collection of people that have been fighting this war for years and years and years, and then just one day stopped. fate, providence, odd coincidence, whatever you call it, led them all ultimately here to this spot, this little village that shouldn't exist, that doesn't have any name at all. Half of them are too old to travel. The other half that look like they were probably fighting on one side or the other of this thing as recently as a few years ago, they make it clear that they have melted down their weapons and melted down their armor and swore to never put it on again. The only thing that they were going to be able to do was they had prepared a ritual circle in case they were ever found, to essentially destroy their village and allow whichever of them were brave enough to flee to try. Essentially, that letter stopped them from annihilating the town. And now here they all are, and everyone's trying to figure out, well, you've seen us, which means that someone has seen us, which means it's only a matter of time before someone else sees us. And they're trying to figure out what to do about that.
Well, I feel as though the obvious answer that might be also impossible is to draw the eyes away from here somehow. But that would mean drawing eyes on us, which we kind of don't want, though we may have accidentally already done.
That was my train of thought exactly. How could we draw attention away from this town without necessarily drawing attention to us?
How able are you to make that portal again?
Ozol looks at the older dwarven woman, whose name is Hazabella, and Hazabella nods, and she and Ozol and a couple of the other folks that, apparently, like the five of them that were casting the cloud of unlife, kind of quickly changed to create a short range portal. They think they could do it again.
Could you do it 2 more times? In that you bring us in the middle. If I don't know if there's a scryer among you, but if you could find, I don't know, a group that might have noticed us, teleport us in the middle, we cause a bunch of havoc, and then we teleport out. And then they're just all confused and they don't understand what happened, and then we are hopefully out of there. Would that work? I don't know. And I look at the rest of the group. Like, am I a crazy person here? I don't know.
I mean, that sounds like maybe like even better of a plan than the scream hunting.
Are you okay?
Sorry. Did you guys see that raccoon? It came out of nowhere.
Crazy.
Jeez. Talk about, all right. But, it's maybe even better than the hunting screaming plan. Maybe we could, if we did that, like if we portaled somewhere and did a bunch of stuff that was really away
Lit
from the
some
village,
things on fire.
and they're like, well, that's probably where the stuff is, and then they go. Or I don't know, if we get 2, or I'm like, I go out there, I'm all demon, we go at them, and I just bolt until I get to the next portal. I'm pretty good if we just want to bring someone somewhere.
So the elven scout that was the human scout and the elven scout. The elven scout steps forward, and she she looks and says, "It's been some decades, but I think I can do it." And she kind of steps forward and kind of raises her hands up, and she pushes her soul out of her body. And it's just kind of hovering in the air, maybe 20 or 30 feet up. And then it just kind of bursts apart into mist, and she opens her eyes. Yes. 100 bloodied. They are coming. I do not believe they know where they are. My access to their thoughts was limited, but they are heading this way. They do not know what is here, but they have been following all of you for some time.
Well,
My guess is within the hour they will find us. And if they do, then the veil of secrecy over this place shatters.
how accurate is that little teleport of yours? And how... Because we could just go poof right behind them. Let's light some things on fire. Chauncey does the demon thing. Winnie does the screaming thing. Hazel does the animal thing. And then they turn around and then we poof out. Is
The
that...
dice will tell us how accurate this all is.
Fast.
Boy, that would be so
Ozol-
convenient if that is.
Ozol, Hazabella, McGregor the scout, Shara the elven wizard and scout, they all believe they can do it. The issue is they don't have a lot of time.
All right.
So the plan is more or less you're all going to teleport there, cause a bunch of havoc, and teleport away. And hopefully that's enough.
Just really rile them up,
Yeah, just rile them up and get the heck out of there.
Disorient them.
Yes, indeed. Guerrilla warfare with portals. So if that's the plan, like you all kind of look at the other knights and like everyone instantly is like, yes, we will. Yes, this is fine. Yes, we do not want this place to go. And the few people capable of magic in this town return to the portal and start casting. They essentially say it'll be a few minutes. And in those few minutes, all of you, not so much take a tour of the village, but understand kind of what it is. Like, the rest of the village is watching these 5 ostensible leaders of their group like pour life force into creating another portal for you all. And like you learn about the almost impossible series of events that like led each of these people here. Like a detachment of orcs, there's obviously a group of orcs here, and all of them essentially found themselves fighting a dwarven detachment in the middle of like a horrible rainstorm mid-river, and they were all like washed away, and they all woke up like a day later, like a dozen miles from where they were fighting, and they just like threw down their weapons and wandered away. And and every story is like that, where it's like, that human that was, like an elite Vorish ranger, like fell down a ravine and was like, and just found this place, like crazy stuff. And the end result is they're in this just like weird limbo of these 20 or 30 war refugees that just refuse to fight ever again and are scratching out this little existence. And every few months, every year, some other person is like divinely plucked out of their life's path and dropped into this village. Like Winnie and Ronaldo, this sounds like a song. This is one of those like impossible bits of coincidence that makes the bardic arts so important, because unless you documented things like this, no one could imagine them possible. But yeah, you just get a sense of what this is. It's not a glamorous life here, but it's just a bunch of people from all sides of this like big conflict that's been going on for hundreds of years that just said no more. And this is just where we're going to live. So in any event, a teleportation spell like this normally would take a little more time. So let's have just one of you, whoever's feeling lucky, roll 2d6. Because here's the plan. The plan is you are going to teleport behind the 100 elite orcish bloodied, do a bunch of stuff, and then like step back through the portal. And frankly, you could be anywhere after that. Like you sow enough discord that it, that Maku's the Beautiful and his army of bloodied will think, well, this is just bonkers. We got to get out of here. So 2d6, no modifiers. We will see if fate is on your side. Who wants to roll it?
I feel like I already burned my 2 6s, so I feel like someone else should roll it.
All right.
Good luck, Chauncey.
Oh, what was that? Plus anything?
Nothing.
9.
Ooh.
Okay. Here's how this is going to work. The portal opens. Kind of Gregory gives you all like a quick war speech about here's how to defend yourself and cause chaos amongst orcish elite warriors. And just like all of you like look at each other and you all nod. Like Ruxley has his rapier out and like Jelly has, you don't know where Jelly got a dwarven blunderbuss, but he has one. Like, why does he have that?
Who
But,
else had that you took?
Yeah, like everyone just kind of has their weapons out, and you walk through. The good news is that you do indeed emerge about 100 feet behind this cluster of orcs that are like running towards the hill. The bad news is that the portal closes behind you, and another portal opens up on the other side of them.
Uh-oh.
Which
Okay.
means you're going to have to fight your way through them.
Let's
Yeah.
do it!
So here's how this is going to go.
Oh boy.
There are kind of 2 little meters you have to fill, and each one you're going to need 5 successes for. A full success on anything you do allows each meter to fill by 1. A partial success means only one of them will increment up. Those 2 meters are sow enough discord that they will not be able to follow you, and the other is get to the portal. Both of them, like, tactically can look the same. Like, I need to kill that scary orc, or I need to cause a fire. But you've got 2 meters to fill: the discord meter and the get out of here meter. And so get out of here meter. Good. Now I have both written down. Okay, time to cause a bunch of chaos. Also, let your imagination be your guide here. I will put it to you this way: going toe to toe with you are the Knights of Prospect. There are 10 of you. You are elite. You are important. You are special. You are full of power. If you fight 100 bloodied, all of you will die. You will be ripped apart into bits. It will not be close. Which means staying here and duking it out for an exceeding amount of time is probably bad. So whatever it is you do, your speed is your friend. Okay, with that being said, what do you want to do? And it literally could be as simple as, I would like to kill 1 orc, please, just to see what happens. But if the goal is like, great, we're going to make a last stand here, they will be eating you within like 6 hours. So, all right, there it is. That's what happens when you're fighting orcs. All right, who wants to do something cool?
I would oh, please.
I was gonna say, just before they realize that we're there to fight them, I'd like to use it goes to 11, because that performance will make them start to fight each other.
Oh my goodness, it absolutely will. And the fact that they don't know you are there means it will work to its best. Hopefully. Okay, 2d6 plus charisma, please, for it goes to 11.
8.
All right.
Okay. So on an 8, what that means is they will know you are there, because that's what a partial success is. The good news, however, is that you start running, and there are two. There are a pair of orcs in the back that are running, kind of in lockstep, holding across their chest a giant battering ram. And the second you buffet them with it goes to 11, the two of them turn and start screaming at each other. Something about the battering ram, you think, because their one job is to carry it together. And normally they're great at this. And then just vicious fist fight, like horrible brawling fist fight, knives come out. And, the back ranks of this like orcish charge kind of turn, and eventually within like a few seconds, like all of them kind of stop and watch these two orcs fighting. At that moment, a couple of them start noticing you, Winnie, like kind of on the ridge behind them, like singing weird noises into their mind. So they now know that you are there. However, a partial success means you can fill one of the 2 meters. Do you want to fill the Discord meter or the Get Out of Here meter?
Discord. I think that fits.
Gotcha. So the way this manifests is some of the orcs. Now, the thing about the bloodied is that they've sworn off leadership. Like their whole idea is like they're not going to kill other orcs to become a great warlord. They know that their true enemy is humanity. So they don't technically have like a military structure. They're all just a bunch of people that thought Makuz had the right idea. They're going to go kill those weird demons. But now all of a sudden the demons have snuck up on them, which means that some of these orcs are immediately starting to question the fact that Makuz has not been chasing them. Rather, they've been chased by, like, the demons have been chasing Makuz instead of the other way around. Cool. So yeah, that's exciting. Who wants to go next?
I would love to.
All right, Chauncey, what do you want to
do? Since they're turning to see Winnie over the edge, I ought to try to kick up some dust in front of me so it looks like it's emanating from me, like I'm arriving. And I would like to become a visage of holy terror. I would like to look as like hellish and demonic as possible. None of the usual angelic demonic stuff with like the wings for my eyes, but like horns all the way around, kicking up dust, coming up. On a try to use that and scream as I arrive. I am an actual demon. I have got to jump on. I'm a demon like you thought.
2d6 plus Constitution. I absolutely
scary
love
stuff. That's an 11.
Well, I'll be darned. Well, the good news is that the Discord meter now goes to 2 and the Get Out of Here meter goes to 1. Yeah, exactly what you just said happens. Like, I'm a demon, look at me, ha! The thing that is truly horrifying is you are encapsulating what the orcs' basest fear about humanity is, which is that, I mean, core to the orcish belief, core to why they have been fighting a war, is they believe that humanity has kicked them out of heaven and built walls to protect heaven. And every time the orcs march north to break those walls, they're trying to get into heaven. And so when you show up as this like huge, resplendent, demonic human being. And they look at you and they are gobsmacked by it. And at this point, there are orcs that are screaming at Makuz the Beautiful. Like, why have you done this? Look at this. They are here now.
It's all his fault for sure.
Yeah, like the hills echo with the vicious mockery of Makuz the Beautiful. Yeah, so you are a big, like, horrifying image. The Get Out of Here meter increases because a few of these orcs who have dedicated their life to being elite warriors just break and start running. They're just like, this is too much. Even for all of you who know that's Chauncey, even for all of you, it's hard to watch this for you. But you're like, you just have to keep saying like, that's Chauncey, that's Chauncey. Like, even though Chauncey's like a 20-foot like red and gold man wearing a crown of spikes and like wielding a scepter, like, and all of this stuff. So yeah, who's next?
Step forward so he doesn't have to immediately look at Chauncey out of his periphery. And pulls out his rapier, points it towards what he thinks might be Maku's in the crowd, and he says, "Maku's the beautiful, you have brought your entire army to dust, and it is all your fault." And I use Sick Burn.
Yep, 2d6 plus charisma, please.
I yell demonically, "Oh!"
This can all end if you all kill Maku's the beautiful.
Oh, no.
Oh, let's definitely do it.
8.
8, partial success. Okay, so what this, within the context of this, here's what I'll do. So you can increase the Discord meter, but I'll put it to you this way. You can increase the Discord meter by 1, or the get out of here meter by 1, or increase both by 1 and have Maku step forward and challenge you to a duel.
Oh boy. That one.
That's
the last one.
That one. Option Maku's.
Oh boy.
So you start screaming this, and the thing is, you know, like a fusillade of insults, a fusillade of insults in a language that most orcs would not understand, normally would not have this kind of effect. However, this is magical mockery, which means that you are connecting to their minds to insult Maku's. And all of them just kind of look at Maku's, and there is very clear factionalism starting to happen in this cluster of bloodied, where some are like, well, hold on, Maku's is pretty great. And the others are like, we are here fighting demons in a field far from home because of Maku's. And the only way Maku's sees to resolve this is to kill you, Ronaldo. So Maku's kind of like parts the warring factions, and draws this like great big cleaver.
Oh boy.
And just like walks up to you, big smile on his face, and says in human trade tongue, because he learned it from those 2 people he eventually killed, I will enjoy cutting you in half. You have given me the opportunity to solidify my claim of command. And he tries to cut you in half. Immediately, you leap out of the way. A battle will be joined. Who wants to go next?
I'll go. So Dolly, let's get on in here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dolly, why don't you swing a big fist at Maku's?
Ah, nice. I love it. Okay, so let me pull up Dolly's stat sheet. I am disappointed myself for not immediately having it up.
Terrible way to lose a duel by.
Oh, there's my friend Dolly.
What a great start to the duel for Ronaldo.
Sure. So,
Worry about speed, y'all. That's what you bring in Dolly.
It's true. I love it. Yep. All right. This would be Dolly the Siege Golem, hack and slash, 2d6 plus strength. And Dolly's strength is a 4, so 2d6 plus 4.
11.
Oh no.
Might kill him.
Yeah. So, well, first and foremost, with an 11, you get to increase the Discord meter to 4 and the get out of here meter to 3. Do your damage. 2d8 plus 4.
All right. And I'm asking that Dolly also use her classic catchphrase, hello, Dolly.
Yeah.
All right. So she's got 2d8 plus 4. 19.
What?
Oh my God. Okay.
I rolled an 8 and a 7.
Yeah, no, that'll do it.
Best roll ever.
I challenge you to a duel, Squish.
Yeah, it's like, come on, I challenge you. And, like all this mockery, and Maku's big smile takes a big swing. Ronaldo, from your perspective, like, Maku's the giant orc is right in front of you, and then there's just like a flash, and he's just gone. Like, he's just he's here, just boom. Like, Maku's has flown 20 feet through the air. It just with the eardrum rattling, "Hello, Dolly," just like echoing in the foothills. This obviously further diminishes Maku's claim to leadership. What ends up happening at this point is, the other orcs watching this happening are now like active. I mean, they're kind of in 3 groups. The pro Maku's, let's have him work this out group. The anti Maku's, we are so far away from home, we really should just leave Maku's here. And then the third group is, you know what, we really ought to kill these people. And that third group is starting to kind of build momentum and actually start fighting you. So that's kind of the change that is happening in these minutes. And it's like, you're outnumbered 2-1 in terms of the orcs that want to kill you to resolve all of this. So we are back to the top. Who wants to go next? Or who went first?
Oh,
I think it might have been Winnie.
Yes. I think, oh gosh. I think that I want to, I'm gonna go with and hunt some orcs with my metal hurlant, and I'm just gonna try to do eardrum damage to as many as possible and potentially deafen a few of them.
Sounds pretty good. 2d6 plus Constitution.
13. Oh my gosh.
I'm not even mad at that. Yeah. So so do your damage. We'll do 1d10 damage to one of the orcs just to
5.
So it's really not 5 damage to one orc so much as 5 orcs, because this is essentially mass combat. Like 5 orcs are, like there are 24 orcs like running towards you to be like, we're going to resolve all of this by just killing them. And you just like kind of step up and just create this giant wall of sound, and 5 immediately start screaming. Like their balance is all off. A couple of them topple over, and they're like clutching their ears and yelling. So with that, the good news is the Discord meter is full, and the get out of here meter is 1 away, which means good news. The important part, which is do not let that village of super nice people that have given up war get found. That's happened. You still have to get out of here. So that's the thing. Right now, you've saved the village. The next goal is to not die as martyrs. So we could use more successes. I think we are at Chauncey now.
Yeah. Friends, something that I've learned from the militant is that sometimes great feats of strength aren't the only answer in war. I would like... I'd like to, if possible, declare a quest. I would like to defend these friends and Knights of Prospect from the current iniquities that beset them, the rather large gathering of orcs at present. And from this declaration, I would like a voice that transcends language. And do they have a thing they're using to try to hit us the most, like a weapon of sorts?
Yeah, I mean, they've got a variety of things. The thing that is most apparent, at least in terms of the army of them running at you, are these giant they're cleavers. They're like 4-foot long cleavers. So they look like giant butcher's cleavers, but 4 feet long with super long handles. So those giant cleavers.
That seems worth becoming invulnerable to cleavers.
Invulnerable to cleavers. Boy, these quests are good.
And that voice that transcends language, and whatever vow I must acquire.
Your vow is going to be your vow is valor, and it's going to work in this way specifically.
Oh boy.
Makus cannot survive this. Makus is bad news, and Makus cannot survive this. So, so now that you have declared this quest, the militant flashes before your eyes and lays out the terms which you agree to because you must, and you feel that this great, like molten steel has been poured into your spine, and you are tall and righteous with the strength of the militant. And your voice transcends language. What would you like to say?
I would like to shout out to them. Makus has been weak. He has been thrown asunder by these demons, and now what are you, scattering? You, group over there, what do you want? And you, a different thing. How to resolve this? How should we progress? I think a vote, either a written or with fists, whatever best fits your mood. So if you, one group, want to vote with your fists, go and figure out what exactly your goal is. You're never going to get anywhere unless you figure out your goal. That's what I want to yell at them. As I walk, I would have, if I see the biggest grouping of mostly cleavers so that I can walk towards them. I mean you no harm. I am just trying to help.
Yeah, there's the two groups that are trying to decide whether to support Makus or destroy Makus are screaming at each other. You are talking to them because there's an army of them running towards you. And a couple of that, you are literally mid-sentence to this group of orcs that don't know what they're doing, as two of the orcs that are in the third group of we got to kill them come down on you with cleavers that just bounce off of your skin, which gives your words even more credence.
You see?
So let's you are demanding some kind of democratic solution here. So 2d6 plus charisma. I'll give you a +1 because this is just great. And and tell
+1 to destroy the orcs with democracy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm sorry. Plus charisma +1, so that's 11. My wise words, let them wash over you.
So with your voice that transcends language, you're kind of your scream is you're being foolish, you're fighting amongst you don't know what you're doing, and so on and so forth. And an orc on the pro Makus side and the anti Makus side are wait. That horrifying demon is correct. Yes, it is. The demon is correct. We are letting Makus off too easy. Makus wants us to fight each other. Yes, even if we like Makus, we should not fight for Makus. And so the two of them, with their group of sharks and jets behind them, start kind of hashing out what they want to do here. The issue right now is you definitely have filled the get out of here meter, which means you can now leave at any time. However, Chauncey's vow is that Makuz must die.
And with that, Makuz is still under Dolly's fist, correct?
Dolly punched Makuz 20 feet that way.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, Makuz is like getting onto his feet, and at this point, Makuz feels like he has lost the crowd. So now he's just like charging towards you with a cleaver.
And I would like to. I don't know if my ability is used this way, but I would like to use Manual of Movement to effectively figure out how I can best trip him so that another teammate could potentially coup de grace him or something. And sort of just exploit his anxiety and anger right now to just sort of, dodge out of the way and slash at his ankles, and he falls, and then we stab him in the neck or something. That kind of thing.
I love it. 2d6 plus wisdom, please. I'm going to give you a +1 on top of that, because that is a very fine use of all of your teammates around you.
2d6 plus wisdom plus
+1.
8.
8.
Nope. 7.
7. Oh,
exactly, just 7.
Oh, good. The GM will tell you a piece of information.
I rolled a 6 and I have a +0 to wisdom.
The GM will tell you a piece of information that is up to you to make use of.
Okay.
The issue here is this. Dolly punched Makuz so hard that it dislocated his shoulder. Meaning you're not entirely sure if Makuz can swing the giant cleaver at you, or if Makuz is going to try to kind of strike you with the pommel or something. Like, you don't think Makuz can swing it.
Okay.
That's the story. Makuz still incredibly dangerous and might kill you. But that's the bit of information that you now have that you can pass on to a teammate.
Yeah, just hit him in the shoulder and he'll either fall over in pain or he'll die. He does not. That shoulder is definitely dislocated, and it's also seemingly his dominant hand.
Alrighty, Hazel, you're up.
All right, Dolly girl. Let's take another swing.
I will give Dolly. I mean, I don't think she needs it, but the thing is, Ronaldo said exactly where to hit Makuz. I'm gonna give you a +1 for Dolly.
All right.
So 2d6
plus strength.
Plus another 1.
Oh, that's lucky, actually. 8.
Well, I'll be darned. Here's how this will work out. Dolly does indeed kind of slam Dolly picks up this giant boulder and kind of smashes the giant cleaver out of Makuz's hand. And with that, you hear this thunderous pop of Makuz's shoulder further crunching out and breaking the arm. And he starts screaming. Partial success. How do I want to do it? All of you. So at this point, all of you are, the orcs that are not engaged in active democracy about Makuz's fate are still trying to kill you. And so all of this is happening as you're all forming a knot outside of the portal that you need to jump through, fighting these orcs to give Chauncey or Dolly or someone enough time to kill Makuz. So with the partial success, Makuz is indeed thrown to the ground and in a great deal of pain, but is not yet dead.
No damage roll?
Oh, geez, yeah, it is damage roll. You know what? Yeah, let's go ahead and roll that damage. That may kind of nullify all of the things that I was about to say.
Oh.
And with a cry of Jolene, 13 damage.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo!
See, I had come up with like a really cool countdown mechanic for like, here's how to hold the line again. But yeah, Makuz is thrown to the ground, and Makuz is screaming at you, "Demons, all of you! Rest assured, I will be the end of you and your ridiculous quest, and you all owe me a boat!" And
Did he say a boat?
I think he said a boat.
How do I owe him a boat?
I guess we did steal a boat.
Oh, yeah. Owe him a boat?
Yeah, so at this point, like, Makuz is dead. Chauncey, you feel like the burden of debt, like, kind of relax out of your arms.
Got him.
And all of you are like, all right, everybody, let's go. And like you're all fighting outside of like a portal, like fighting orcs, like you're all getting cut up and doing damage. Like Ronaldo, you are like back to back with like Ruxley with like rapiers out, and Winnie, you are like buffeting people with sound.
I run
Gregory
to the portal yelling, Jolene!
At this point, you all just need to hold the line long enough for Dolly to get back through. So all of you take an amount of damage that is, we don't need to worry about it for now. But yeah, like you're all, getting like carved up, standing and fighting against Orcish Bloodied, as like Dolly is like running as fast as she can. And Dolly like kind of runs from like this weird angle and kind of leaps over the line of orcs you're fighting. And you're all like, oh God, Dolly's gonna land on us. And you all like run back through the portal, followed immediately by Dolly like tumbling through. And then the portal closes.
I have a lot of blood in my mouth, but I think we did it.
Yeah. I'm sorry for the delay, everybody. I really thought democracy could tear them apart.
Oh, it kind of worked. It worked. It worked. It did work.
All of you expected to be back in this village with no name. You are not there.
Oh.
They did not teleport you back. They teleported you, best you can tell, as far away as they could with their magic, which is about a mile.
Oh, wow.
And so you're not really sure what became of them. But all you know is that it was probably for the best they didn't tempt fate by teleporting you back again, especially with so many orcs nearby. Like, you're all bloodied and hurt and nursing wounds. Gregory and Prince Wyman, big wild smiles on their faces as they're like, good job, shoulder slapping each other. And all of you kind of find like a little hollow with like a creek running through it, and you're all there. And
Making a little flower crown for Dolly.
Dolly is so thrilled. Winnie and Ronaldo, there's been a song that both of you have had in your head for the last few days. Like, it was and not you didn't talk about it with each other necessarily, because in your mind it's like, this is a really good one. Like, this is, I don't want to share it until I have it like down. And so like, Ronaldo, you're thinking of these lyrics, these like beautiful, like ethereal lyrics, and like, Winnie, you've been like working through this melody in your head, and like you see, all of your friends and fellow knights, and you're all like badly hurt, like laying in a hollow, like drinking creek water. And the both of you are like, all right, we should start healing these people. And completely independently of each other, the two of you start singing this song. And it's the same song. And it's about Alveolora. And you don't know where it came from, and you don't know why it's in your mind. All you know is that it is brilliant, and you thought it was yours. And as kind of this healing healing wave washes over everybody, giving them the strength to move on. You both kind of look at each other. And in this moment, for you at least, Alve Alora is now real. So we will end it right there. Except for an epilogue.
Oh.
Back in that little village with no name, Ozol the Render and Azabella are sitting in their home and talking about the fact that even if everyone needed to run, Ozol would stay. And Azabella said that she would know. And the two of them, were just talking about what this means and how close this all was, and how those strange knights from the north almost doomed them and then saved them. Meanwhile, 100 feet up in the air, the disembodied spirit of Shara, that elven wizard, is silently observing a collection of orcs half a mile away hash out a pretty functional democratic government. So we'll end it right there.
Oh no!
Good for them.
You know what? That's
Invented
nice.
democracy.
Yeah,
That's nice. That's a
They
The
pretty...
did it.
Orcish Senate.
yeah.
Mhm. So there it is. I had a whole idea of you like climbing a mountain today, but I'm like, the second you started like screaming crickets, that I'm like, nope, something's got to happen. That's not that. Oh, that was fun.
Just teleported right to him. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why not?
Well, anyway, speaking of fun, audience, thank you so much for being the best audience and watching us engage in a number of very exciting adventures in the Great Orcish Lands or in the Riverlands or anywhere in between. We are here every Saturday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time right here on 2MB Studios. If you are a fan of it, subscribe. Support 2MB Studios on Patreon. Buy them a coffee on that coffee thing. I don't know how that works really. But if you can you deliver coffee to their house, find a house and deliver coffee to it.
Find their house.
For sure.
Find a house.
Yeah.
Find 2MB Studios
Don't
house.
find their houses.
You know what?
Leave their
Don't find their
houses
houses.
Take
Yeah.
Go
it
to
back. Buy them a coffee.
twitch.tv/2MB Studios. You're already there. You're watching it live. And support them however it says on the site. That doesn't involve going to anyone's houses. Also, if you are listening to us as a podcast or on YouTube, thank you. Please keep doing so. We love having you, no matter where you are. And we will see you next week for another exciting adventure of the Knights of Prospect. Good night.
Ah.
Bye.